Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Unbossed, where we are flipping the script on leadership. I am Staci Wright. I'm the founder and CEO of Heart Profit, and Gloria, my counterpart here, co-facilitator, is the president of HPWP Group. Together, we have created a holistic curriculum where we transform leaders and businesses into places where environments where people and profits and performance thrive. And so we're here talking on Unbossed about what does it mean to flip the script on what we've been doing in leadership and how we can move forward into a new style of leadership that is both effective and it helps people thrive because we're done with the profit at all cost and people being expendable model. We cannot sustain that in today's society. Welcome, Gloria. Thank you for being here.
Always happy to join you, Staci.
I appreciate you being here. This is going to be fun. So, today's topic is leading with heart and why compassion is the new competitive edge. And I've listened to a lot of different business podcasts, and in the last couple of years, I've noticed that we are switching more to the heart-based leadership, and that is the new competitive advantage. And it goes along with our first creed. So, if you guys listen to our first webcast, we talked about our 10 creeds of what heart profit businesses commit to doing and being in their business. And this goes along with creed number one. We lead with heart and purpose. We believe leadership is a responsibility to serve with integrity, vision, and compassion. We commit to fostering a culture of care while driving sustainable results. So we're not sacrificing one for the other, and we're here to show you and teach you and lead you into a way of leadership that's actually powerful and it's strong. So, just to start out with, Gloria, why is leading with heart the new competitive advantage in the world today?
Yeah, it is. It's not the early 1900s anymore. It's not the Industrial Revolution where a few people in power could control everything. What one company does, another company can do equally as well. And it's a matter of who's first to market and who can do it better, faster, more innovative. And that really reinforces people are the ones who make the difference, right? So if we're living in a competitive world, which we are, then how you engage your people, how you view your people, how you treat your people is going to make all the difference in terms of your organization kind of rising to the top and leading in whatever category that you're in. And so it's really reinforces people are the competitive advantage. And you have the opportunity to recognize that just a little bit or a lot. And when you do so, you can take advantage. And that does really require leading with heart, thinking about the whole person and how they contribute.
So, I have an analogy to offer up. So, let's say you bought this $1 million piece of equipment that can do so many things, that can produce at a high level, a high functioning machine, and you spend $1 million on that thing. And you get it and you install it and you set it all up, but you don't use it to its full capacity. Let's say you only use 10% of its capacity in your business. So, what do you think the results are going to be from using a $1 million machine that's high producing only at 10% of its actual capacity? You're not going to have the full results, but you have a whole lot of potential sitting there in that machine that can do so much more. And that's truly human potential. The human potential that we have access to in everything we do is so much greater than what we're tapping into with the command and control, the old model of style of management and business.
Yeah. And it's also how we structure our organizations too. We identify jobs. This is your job, this
Right.
experience right here in this little box, this is yours. And people are capable of so much more. We hire
Right.
people to do to fill a specific role. And what we have to recognize is that they've got capabilities beyond that. And you talk about that machine, if we're only, maximizing 10% of it or 20% of it, we put more time and attention into figuring out how to maximize the machine and get a different result than we ever do typically with
Right.
people. And
Right.
can use that same mindset, which is, gosh, we've got this great. We've got great folks who really are the biggest asset in our organization. What if we showed up differently, engaged with them differently? What could be the outcome? I mean, talk about an ultimate win-win, right? For
Right, right,
the
right.
company, for the individual.
Tapping into compassion and empathy, tapping into the heart and the caring and the kindness, really, in general, helps to create what we call creating commitment from your people and creating engagement from your people and having them tap into the resources that live in their innovative brains, in their creative space, in their coming up with new solutions for problems that we're facing every day. And so really that's the it's the compassion piece, it's the connection piece, and it's that really turns that on, that really allows us to tap into that. Now, it's not the only thing. There's more to it than that, obviously. And there's a certain amount of skill sets and other things that you incorporate in order to have that compassion and drive performance as well. And that those are some of the things that we talk about. But when we talk about what it really means to flip the script on old styles of leadership and bring in the new compassion style leadership, what are just some examples of what that actually looks like in real application?
Yeah, it is. I mean, we can say it's compassion, but it's pretty simple. It's get to know the people on your team, right? Get to know the individuals. We typically go through a hiring process, right? We should be doing anyways, pretty detailed stuff. That's the start of it. And when somebody comes on board, it's not just there's your desk, there's your computer, here's your login, now go to work. It is engaging with them. It is finding out who they are, what makes them tick. It's investing just a little bit of time because when you get to know people on a deeper level, not just surface level, then you're starting to build relationships, and relationships make that compassion side even easier. And relationships then help you get to we're in this together. And that's where you're helping to foster commitment rather than what people are typically used to, which is you're hired, glad you're here, go to work, right? And what we end up settling for is compliance. Follow the job responsibilities, follow the company policies
Mhm.
versus getting to know folks, establishing a relationship, identifying mutual expectations, and then we've got a strong relationship going forward. We can weather anything, the
Right.
challenges and the problems to creative ideas and solutions to take our department, this job, the company, whatever the case may be, to the next level.
That was a well-rounded answer for that
All right.
question.
I put a lot into it.
There's a lot to this because, and I can speak from, personal experience of, just doing the compassion piece because a lot of leaders do have that compassion. They do care about their people. But what I've found in my own personal experience is coming from the command and control business model into or leadership style into compassionate based leadership style. There were several times that I got taken advantage of. There were several times that culture changed in a negative way
Yeah.
in the business. We had a leader that came through our cohort that talked about that and talked about how, she wanted to be compassionate and she was compassionate. And then people would like shit on her. I mean, it was just like they were not reciprocating the same compassion that she was pouring out. And she was really struggling with that is like,
Yeah.
I need performance, like I need the business to be sustainable. And I also want to be nice and kind and compassionate and understanding. And I don't know how to do both. And after going through, it was such a beautiful transition to watch her go through the 12 weeks of the curriculum. And at the end of the day, I just saw her the other day and we were at a business event and she gave like this testimonial of her experience with Heart Profit. And what she said was, when I started Heart Profit, I tried to care for my employees and I also had to follow behind them and make sure they were doing their job because they were doing the bare minimum of what they needed to do. And it was exhausting, it was draining, and it was all me trying to make sure everything was getting done. She said, once I went through the curriculum and I learned these additional tools and I implemented them, she said, just 12 weeks later, I have commitment from my people. I have a few new people, like some of them didn't make it, but with the new things that I've implemented from what I learned, I'm able to be compassionate and I have commitment from my people. So I no longer have to follow up and make sure they're doing what they need to do because I know they're going above and beyond because that's the culture of what we want and they're committed to that for me. She said, I went out and helped an employee move on the weekend before last because I felt like she had no one there. She didn't have family, she didn't have help, and she needed help. And I had a truck, so I was like, I'm gonna come help you. And she went and helped her without a second thought because there's that trust, there's that commitment on both sides. And
Yeah.
now they both know, hey, I know she's got my back, she's got my back. We're here together, we're in this together. And it's a beautiful, beautiful way to lead and manage. And she didn't have to be afraid that if she went and helped her move, that she would take advantage of her or would be crossing a line right in that leadership style. But it was such a beautiful testimony that she was able to implement these things, create that commitment, and now she's like so peaceful versus before where it was just like
Yeah, it takes the stress off when you can lead in a different way. And this is where we are, flipping the script. It is conventional leadership says keep that arm's length from your team member, right? Keep it a professional. Of
mhm,
course, we're going to keep it professional, but it's personal too because it's work. We spend so much time together. So when we got to throw that out the door when it is keep that professional distance from your employees, we just call bullshit on that because that's not the way to do it. I think where leaders who really have heart kind of, have misstep along the way is what is the example that you just gave. And it's because we care, but part of it is because we're the leader and we think we're the fixer of things.
mhm,
And leading with heart and leading with compassion doesn't mean that we take on their responsibility. It doesn't mean we assume responsibility for any personal issues or challenges getting fixed. We can be supportive, we can be a good listener, we can challenge their thinking on that situation that's not work related. We get to be a facilitator of where they're at in their life and the issues that they're going through. And
mhm,
we can't ignore it because it has impacts. We also can't own it because if we do, then it's never getting fixed. They don't have a need to fix it. Doesn't make them bad people. I think we've talked about this before, even during the cohort. We take away that responsibility from them. And that, frankly, is a bit selfish. That's not leading with heart. We're
right.
not here to be the hero of their story either.
Mhm. Yeah,
Because if you're
yeah,
the hero, you're going to become the villain at some point in time.
yes. Right, exactly. Or you end up doing therapy a couple hours a day in your office. I
Yeah. And even if you are trained, which most of us are
no.
not, to be those therapists, it's not the right use of our time.
Yeah,
We can point
absolutely.
them in the direction to get that kind of help, and we should,
Mhm,
and we can still be an active listener. We can still we can do that because we care, because we've gotten to know them. And they're so much more open when we say, well, what are you going to do about that? What do you
mhm.
think's next for you in that? And then
Yeah,
if it's anything that's work related, it's just so much easier to have the high expectation, to talk about any missteps or any performance gaps. And it's a lot less awkward because we have connection with
yeah,
them and
yeah.
know it's coming from a place of care and concern.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. And so there's a balance of holding a high expectation and coaching people up to that with compassion and empathy. So we're not coddling, we're not lowering the expectation, we're not changing what we need from them. We're helping them rise up. So instead of meeting them where they're at and trying to bring them up, we're staying up here and we're holding this vision for them up here. And we're saying, we believe in you. We believe you can come up. And how can we overcome the obstacles that are in the way?
Yeah.
and create the solutions to bring you up to that performance. And that's the key. That is a huge key in having performance and sustainability and the compassion at the same time. Now, I just want to circle back around to one thing is we talk about humans thriving and tapping into the human potential. And humans, if you the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, humans have needs, right? And when their needs are met, then they're able to tap into a deeper level of potential, a deeper level of innovation, a deeper level of creative problem solving. One of the key core needs that humans have that is not being met in the society we live in today. Do you know what that is, Gloria?
No.
Connection. Humans are wired for
I should have
connection.
guessed that with all the conversations you've had and on TikTok for sure.
Yeah, so humans are wired for connection, but we live in a culture, a society that values independence.
Hmm.
And so we've created a society that creates sick individuals, and no wonder we have a mental health crisis. So listen, leaders, if you have a people problem, if your people are struggling, which people are struggling in today's society, the base need that everybody has that we need to fill to make a big difference in that whole mental health crisis is the connection piece, is connecting to our people. And we've been taught not to connect, to keep people at a distance. But we've been taught that because we were in a much different world. We were just
Yeah.
in a different society, a different time, a different place. We can't afford to do that now. And if you continue to do that, you're not going to have people working for you in the next generation, in the next few years. There was a chief innovations officer of a global aerospace company say to his leaders at their annual event in December of this last year. He said, "We've got amazing innovations coming. We've got a lot of potential happening." He said, "However, we have a people problem that we've never had before. And if we don't solve this people problem, we are not going to have a business in 3 to 5 years." Chief Innovations Officer, 92,000 employer, they employ 92,000 people. He's seeing, the leaders are seeing this. The problems that we're having in our workforce with our people is going to shut our business down if we
Yeah.
don't address it. So that's another reason why this leading with heart and compassion and connection is gives you the competitive edge, because 61% of people polled said that their work influenced their mental health more than anything else. And 81% said they would pick a job that offered mental well-being over a job that paid more money. 81%. People are now recognizing that money's not where it's at.
Yep.
Money is not the value anymore. Before you could just throw more money at somebody and they'd stay. That's not the case. And that's not going to be the case in the future. Now people are looking for mental well-being. They're looking for health. They're looking for being okay in a society that's not okay. So workplaces and businesses that incorporate these things are going to have a workforce, and they're going to have a healthy workforce. So that's another reason it's a competitive advantage to do this.
It is because the world has changed. I mean, we still have to be real. Organizations have been successful with the model, the leadership model they've used. They've grown, they've expanded. That has worked. There always was a better way.
Yeah.
And it's this connection. It's the heart profit way. It's what we focus on at HPWP. That's
Mhm.
always been a more effective way. Um, I'm really discouraged about the mental health crisis. And at the same time, I'm excited because I feel like now's an opportunity for us to really change the work world,
Yeah.
change the way that we lead, and it's going to make it better for everybody. And selfishly, as a leader, it makes it even easier for me, right? And so, like, why wouldn't we want to do it? We should do it. We need to do it.
That's 100% why I'm so thankful that you're involved with this with us and helping us build out this curriculum, because this is more than just a business competitive advantage. It really is about solving the world's mental health crisis. And we
Hmm.
can do it through workplace innovation. And that's exactly what we're taking people on this pathway. And it's not difficult. It does require change. It requires a bit of commitment on a leader's part to switch from that old command and control into this new model. But once you make that switch, once you get the tools and you integrate them, it becomes so much more easy. It becomes so
Uh,
much more,
it
there's a
does.
lot more. What I see from the leaders that have gone through this is they have a lot more peace, a lot more confidence, a lot more ability to scale
A lot
than they've
less
had in the
stress.
past. A lot less stress. Yes, yes, just the calm peace that they have. So in is there anything else you want to add to this before we close it out, Gloria?
Now I could just step on my soapbox and talk about the importance of this all day long. I think the point is made.
Yes, yes, I agree. I agree. Okay, so closing reflections for leaders to think about. What does leading with heart mean to you? And where have you led with heart and you got burned? Where have you led with command and control and not gotten the commitment you want? So those are some of the reflections for you to think about. And do you need more tools? Do you need more support to bring these new ways of leading into your organizations? Comment below. We'd love to have a conversation with you. Reach out to us. Our website is heartprofit.org. We'd love to see you in our next cohort. And um, yeah, so I would like to welcome or invite you to continue on these Monday webcasts that we're doing and let us know. Let us know where you're struggling. Let us know what you want, topics you want us to cover, because we want to be responsive to those that are waking up to this new way of doing business, waking up to this new way of leading. And we want to be responsive to you because we know that this is something we're waking up to and people are ready to move into. But everybody has their own challenges, unique challenges that go along with this. So we're here to support y'all in this new way of leading. And we're going to continue flipping the script on the old style of leadership, making that command and control obsolete so that we can welcome a new world where all humans thrive and businesses thrive because their people are thriving. Thank you, Gloria, for being here with us. We'll see y'all next week.